Greetings, Dragon Ballers. Didier here. McCafe your way.
Greetings, Internet. Didier here, and well, it's a few days after we started shooting the initial set 2 breakdown videos. So as you can see, we look a little different. We're a week older, a week wiser than we were last week when we started shooting those videos.
We just wanted to make sure that we were actually wearing different clothes, so you know, you don't think we're filthy.
We did a St. Patty's Day bar crawl last night where I was actually the designated driver, which is very unlike me, I think.
And well, you drew the short straw. It's not like you were like, hey, I'm going to be the designated driver.
More like my wife twisted my arm. You drank a little bit last night.
I ate very little yesterday, and I drank a lot. I think it's probably like 8 shots, and we went, and I had another too many shots and beers. I made it to 2 bars out of like the 8-bar bar crawl.
But we're going to continue on with our set 2 breakdown where we did black style last, so now we're going to do blue style. We'll start with the rares here.
Blue got a lot of tools. Didn't need all of them, but it got them. So we're just talking about that a moment ago. So we think blue
is pretty much the
style. I mean,
yeah, blue is the dominant style in set 1. I think set 2 is just going to, you know, be that much more. Set 2 is probably going to be the set of blue. Like, we're going to just be seeing lots and lots of blue decks. Blue God Goku, blue Frieza, blue regular Goku. So let's start off with blue backbreak here. So, you know, across the board, set 2, they've been supporting a lot of physical decks, and you can see that with blue backbreak. It allows you to shuffle in an ally and play into its owner's life deck and its physical attack for 5 stages. So
it shuffles and allies, so you can even shuffle in your own. We were talking about this. So like if you have Bulma, if you're a hero ally deck, want to name something else all of a sudden, if you have a way to get her back out, you can shuffle her in, pop her back out, and name another card. I mean, if you can see their hand, it's not that hard.
Or if you, like, say, have Tien out and he's at 0 and you can't perform his attack, you can shuffle him into your life deck, use an effect to get him in play at 3 above, or the MC can do his attack. So, you know, it's extra ally manipulation that blue got. Also, blue physical will, you know, some ally tech to help you clear the field.
I mean, blue just got a boost. It already had blue betrayal, and it's got this other one that, you know, is almost ally tech, but you can use it on yourself. Blue also got a nice double attack. It does a physical +2. You can discard a card from your hand to make it remain 1, stay in play to be used a second time. Right. And there are a lot of blue-styled cards now that have effects when they're discarded. There's the new drill that we were just talking about that makes your attacks 2+1 life card. If it's discarded from your hand, you can place it into play.
Out of all the other styles, blue definitely has the most when this card is discarded from your hand effects. Are there any other double attacks that blue has right now? I don't think so. Oh wait, there's a blue trap strike. So they actually have 2 double physicals right now, which
Blue God Goku.
Yeah, Blue God Goku, right? They're overall supporting, you know, copy attacks in this set, and you can see that with Blue Crush, which is just a physical attack, you know, alone it's just a physical for +2. But if you performed a copied attack in, you know, previously in combat, you actually get to draw a card. Blue doesn't have that much card advantage, and this card is just straight money in a blue Frieza deck. You're on your level 2, you're an E bracket if you're towards the higher power stages. So this attack's gonna be doing damage, and it's gonna draw your card. Pretty sick. Blue got actually 2 drills that are fairly strong, extremely powerful in my opinion. The first drill that it got is Blue Overpowering Drill, and it's only for villains, so you're only gonna really see this by probably Frieza, maybe Ginyu. It's not discarded when you level up. So I'm glad that they added that because, you know, villains tend to be more aggressive. They tend to be anger gaining decks, leveling decks like Frieza and Ginyu. When you stop an attack with this drill on the field, you're going to be able to raise any player's anger by 1. So again, more anger gaining. So it makes sense that the drill is not discarded when you level. And then also, the first copied attack you perform each combat is unstoppable. Again, saying to you, play this in Frieza. I don't think your blue Frieza is going to be getting stuck on any level. I think blue Frieza is going to be a nasty MPPV deck now. Or just really, honestly, I think blue Frieza is going to be able to do everything. And you're just going to be seeing a lot of leveling in this set, just a ton of leveling. Blue especially just got a lot of anger.
So another card blue got is Blue Taming Technique. It's another setup. It's another ally card. It lets you search your life deck, put it into play at 4 above 0, and it also has a nice bonus. It says you can discard a card from your hand, style a card, and if it's set up, you can place it into play. So, I mean, if you have another one in your hand, you can put it into play. If you have
any styled setup.
Blue Battle Readiness. You
blue Key Buildup. I guess the question is this card good enough that it's going to replace Blue Battle Readiness, or is it going to be used in conjunction with it?
If you're going to run allies, I would run both of them. It's kind of just a great defensive card that happens to get an ally out. It's like the Orange Trunks Guardian drill.
Blue Battle Readiness is just too damn good. It's one card that gets 2 allies, and it's defensive and offensive. It gets from the life deck and discard pile, whereas this card only gets from the life deck, so it's kind of limited. limited. It's not going to help you as much late game. And it does help you, you know, as a defensive ability, you know, if you get entered on and you draw into some setups. I think this is kind of not, it's not really going to be used in my opinion. It may see play in some decks, some heavy setup decks that are going to want that defense in combat to be able to play one from your hand. Moving on to the uncommons, we got a decent reprint. You know, this wasn't really used in the old game. Blue Face Crunch.
You're just talking about that. That's the, it's a physical, like, what, +5, gain 3 stages?
I mean, Blue God Goku, right? You always want to stay at full with him. You want to be at that 100 million.
I can even see it being used just in any blue deck just for the stage gain. I mean, it's a physical attack, helps
Blue
you gain
Frieza
stages to do energies.
And let's not overlook the ability to see their hand. In a Blue Frieza deck, the ability to see their hand is very valuable. You always pretty much want blue mental drill on the field, because if you have the ability to copy one of your opponent's attacks back in him, you're going to want to know.
You want to make sure it's the best attack to copy.
And obviously your opponent is going to be saving his attacks, you know, like he's not going to want to play the one that you're going to want to copy back. But yeah, another reprint card that it got, which happens to be one of my favorite cards in blue style in the old game, Blue Leverage. Awesome card. It's pretty good when you're not level 3. You reveal the top 3 cards of your life deck. If you're not level 3 or higher, your opponent chooses one and puts it to your hand. And then if you are, you choose.
Yeah, I remember that from the old game.
Yeah, great card. And you know, what other physical blocks does Blue have to work with right now? Not very many. There's a few decent ones, but none really that just like stand above all, you know, other physical blocks. And I think that Blue Leverage is gonna be that physical block. It gives you card advantage. Yeah, if you're on the lower levels, they're gonna be giving you a shitty card, probably a setup or something like that you can't use. But if you have a card in your hand that discards a card, there's fuel for that. I mean, there's a free activation on that. Another uncommon that it got was Blue Flinch. And I don't really like this card at all. Now, okay, so you know what? I've been thinking about this card a little more, and it could have some use in Dragon Ball decks. You know, you want to cycle through your deck kind of thing. You want to, so you can discard a style card from your hand to make both players draw a card.
It's good with blue positioning drill.
Yeah, I mean, you can combo
your
there.
Control cards, you can put your blue betrayals out, you can put...
Just, you're giving your opponent a card, and I just can't think of a situation where I want to do that.
You are, because when you think about it, like, you're blocking an attack, so it's almost neutral there, it's card for card, but you're also discarding something from your hand to make both people draw a card. So you're basically, he's just getting a card, you're getting rid of 2 to draw 1.
Yeah, you're just cycling. You're giving him a card.
Although I could see it be used a little bit with some of the cards that when discarded they go into play, so it's not a downside, you're basically just both drawing 1, but you're still taking the chance that what you draw is as good or better than what he draws. Yeah. It's advancing the game for both players. It's not
even more so than that. The card that you draw being better than your opponent's card that he draws is not the only factor. It has to be more than that. It has to be, you know, you utilize some discard ability and the card that you drew is better. If this card is going to be of use, you're going to have stopped all your opponent's attacks or all damage, or you're going to have some really strong blocks, or really just have control of the complete game. This is definitely one of those win more cards that I always talk about. You have to have control in order for it to be usable. The last uncommon that Blue got was Blue Joyride. So this is an interesting card. It fuels copied attacks because when it's discarded from your hand, the next copy attack you perform is doing +4. Which adds really nicely to Frieza's +2 ability on already, you know, makes it a +6 mod.
Goku.
The only thing with playing these type of cards in non-Frieza decks is they don't have something innately to activate it. You're going to have to rely on those blocks that copy attacks. And you're only going to have 6 in your deck, you know. You only have 3 energy, 3 physical copies, so you'd have to have this card in your hand and that card in your hand. The commons that it got, you know, just in general, these commons, I don't think any of the commons actually follow like the whole rare, common, uncommon power curve. They don't follow the right power curve. Some of the commons are better than uncommons, better than rares. There's definitely a few of them. Blue Glare is not one of those cards. It's an energy for 5. If you discard a card from your hand, you stop the next physical attack your opponent performs. Not a bad effect. Definitely not a bad effect. It's an energy for 5. It has a decent, you know, immediate effect. You don't know if your opponent has a physical attack in his hand, so unless you have Blue Mental Drill in play. But so you're trading card for card there. You know, you're dropping a card just to stop the next physical attack that's performed against you. It really just has to be utilized with those cards that activate effects when they're discarded. Blue Hand Blast is an energy for 5, you know, costing 3 stages. It raises your anger 2 immediately, and then if it hits, you can raise or lower your opponent's anger 2 levels. This is just going to replace Enraged Blast in every single blue deck. Blue decks won't be playing Enraged Blast anymore, or at least if they do, they're going to be really heavy anger decks.
Some of these cards with the anger manipulation in blue I see reminiscent of that previous ultra rare that could have been.
Well, they did that from the first set. There were a lot of cards that raised or lower players'
even
anger.
just the mastery itself, but it's not to the effect it is with some of the cards we see in set 2. There's a lot of them that rate, not just lower your opponent's anger, raise or lower your opponent's anger, and it's like, really, what's the point in raising his anger?
You're playing God Goku. You're playing Krillin and you don't want critical damage done on you. So blue got a lot of anger. I mean, we're going to go over 3 common cards that raise 2 anger, and this next one goes right in line with that. Blue Determined Attack is a physical attack, does +3, and if you stopped an attack in the previous phase, you raise your anger 2. So another 2 anger card. This is just going to be great for physical beatdown. Frieza again, maybe Trunks, or really anything that just wants to gain levels.
Yeah, you use it. Ginyu.
Blue Ginyu is going to be really strong now, actually, with all these anger cards. Oh my god. Blue Bat Attack is kind of a mirror to Blue Glare. You know, it's a physical attack, does +4, so, you know, it's hefty there. You can discard a card from your hand to stop the next energy attack performed against you, which is decent. You know, you're doing a physical attack, so you're kind of preventing energies to begin with. It's okay. It's a common card. My favorite card in this set, common card. This card should be a rare. Blue Fear. Amazing card. Combat event card. If it's discarded from your hand, you can remove it from the game to raise your anger 2. 2 anger. Amazing. The effect is good alone. Like, it gives you 2 anger when it's discarded from your hand. Blue Frieza is just gonna go crazy sauce over that. And the great thing about Blue Fear is, yeah, you can raise your anger with it, but it has that critical damage effect that you can use if you want to use it, and you can cycle a card. So activate anything, any one of those other effects in your hand that activate when discarded, and draw a card.
Blue just has so much control now. It's got, you know, it's got Blue Betrayals. It's got the, what was the other attack we talked about? Blue Backbreak to get rid of an ally if you want to, so that's field control.
A lot of anger control.
It's got this. It's got Blue Fear, so you can use a critical damage effect. I mean, heaven forbid you're Krillin and you're sitting on level 1. I mean, there's just so much field control Blue has.
Blue Cover Up is truly a common, prevents 4 and 4 from an attack, and then for the remainder of combat, all your attacks are going to be doing +2 life.
All of your attacks do +2 life.
Yeah, all your attacks do +2
life. In an ally deck
life.
that you have like 4 attacks, 5 attacks out. In a single, like a God Goku deck, even a Frieza deck, I probably wouldn't run it because what are you going to do? Like 2 attacks at combat, 3 attacks at combat, not a whole lot. But I could definitely see it in like a Goku regular or a Krillin ally deck, even a Ginyu deck. Prevent some of their damage while just modding all of yours.
Yeah, definitely good. You know, you convinced me. And an ally deck,
something where you can take advantage of doing multiple more attacks so that you get the benefit.
The last card that Blue got was its final drill. This is going to be such a good card. Blue Lifting Drill. If it's discarded from your hand, you're going to be putting it into play. It gives you a damage mod. Make sure all your attacks do +1 life card, which is great for Blue. You know, Blue craves that extra damage right now. It doesn't really have anything in that department. Additionally, it has an effect that kind of mirrors Blue Biting Drill. Whenever one of your attacks is stopped, you're going to be lowering your opponent's anger 1 level. So if you have Blue Biting Drill in play, you know, you'll be actually milling them then. And, you know, if they have 0 anger and they stop one of your attacks, it's like all your attacks have a nail type effect. See, Blue Goku, these 2 drills that Blue got, well, one's villains only, but this drill alone, having the extra damage, and then, you know, adding the effect to Blue Biting Drill, Blue Goku is going to be a force. That's Blue style. What do you think are going to be the top Blue decks? We kind of, like, gave an overview of different decks.
I think Blue Ginyu is still going to be popular. I mean, for all those Nappa people out there, sure, you can get rid of 1 ally a turn. Yeah, I think Blue Ginyu is still going to be very good. Obviously, Blue Frieza. Blue Frieza is going to be
Blue Frieza is going to be the overlord of set 2, in my opinion. And the great thing about it is there's going to be just a different types of Frieza decks. You could probably go physical beats, you go energy beats, you go ally beats.
I just want a little bit of everything.
You could do copy attacks. There are several things you can do with Frieza. And Blue God Goku.
The only thing I don't like with Frieza is, alright, so with the whole copied attack, like, archetype, I guess you could call it, is it's not a win condition. It's
attacks.
Yeah, but you're relying on your opponent to attack you to be able to copy it back at them. It's annoying.
Everyone attacks.
Not Dragon Ball deck.
Dragon Ball decks have 60 cards now, so they're gonna have to attack, regardless of what style you are. There are attacks that every style plays, even if you're a control-y deck, that are really, I mean...
No, I'm not arguing the principle. It's just, to me, it's not, this is how I win, I have this strategy. This is how I stall the game, I copy your strategy. Moving on, like you said, blue God Goku, blue regular Goku, blue Krillin. I mean, every deck that was good in set 1 just got better in set 2.
I think it took blue Frieza and put it above blue Krillin.
It could be debatable.
I would think so. I think so. Blue style. Play blue style in set 2.